All righty, we are live, and it is day 2. Room starting to fill up a little bit. Hello, coaches. Marc and Kurt here. If you guys can let us know in the chat, whether you're in the Facebook group, Dribble Drive Motion Hoop Talk. I'm also streaming this today into a second Facebook group that I admin in, X&O basketball community, and the System Basketball YouTube channel. So if you can just let us know where you're tuning in from, and we're going to get started a little bit here right now. And before we get going here, my name is Marc Hart again, owner of System Basketball, high school basketball coach for 26 years. This year I'm coaching girls. Been running Dribble Drive Motion offense since 2008. Predominantly solely it. I've mixed and dabbled with putting some other things in, like spread offense, European ball screen, Princeton concepts into Dribble Drive. This year we are fully Dribble Drive and the press that goes with the Dribble Drive. And that's a little bit about a little bio of me. We always want to try to let the new people that don't know us get to learn us a little bit. So Kurt, why don't you let them know about you a little bit as well?
Sure. Kurt Guelsdorf. I'm currently at Clackamas Community College as an associate head coach. Previous to that, 25 plus years at the high school level, last 15 at Oregon City High School. Again, we're out here on the West Coast for those of you that might be tuning in from different time zones. We're out west here in Oregon, and Marc's in California. And so just this is kind of where I'm at now with my Dribble Drive journey is about 15 years into it, having met Vance Wahlberg just by chance, not by any stretch of my brain power at all. He was just recruiting a player at our high school and got to know him, and very, very much willing to share his ideas back then. And so kind of got into it then and have been running it full time with every team that I've coached since about 2012, 2013. All the way down to 4th and 5th grade. We had youth coaches that were all in our area in Oregon City that were running it really well at all levels. So it can be done at every level. And again, we're going to talk a little bit about zone today, but some of the concepts of Dribble Drive and how it applies to your zone offense.
All righty.
I kind of laughed that I have my Yellowstone hat in the back there. That was a Halloween costume.
Oh, if you want to, I threw Kurt's social media. He's mainly active on Twitter. He has Instagram and stuff like that, but his basketball content's mainly on Twitter. If you want to follow him there, you guys can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I give out daily X's and O's a lot, and if you want to check out any of those feeds of mine, you can. All right. Okay, so let's get into, here we go. So if you missed day 1, there are replays available right now for day 1 where we went over why Dribble Drive. We went into the basics of Dribble Drive, learning the philosophy behind it, some of the analytics behind it. Had a great conversation yesterday on that. It's inside the Dribble Drive Motion Hoop Talk group. So you can find that here if you're on Facebook. And you have not joined our group inside Dribble Drive Motion Hoop Talk, replays will be there, or you can subscribe to the System Basketball YouTube channel. And these replays will be available through Sunday evening, and then we'll be taking them down. Well, more on that a little bit later for you. That's also, if you registered for this event, it's on systembasketball.com. If you registered, put your email in there. I've been putting I put day 1 up already there. So if you are inside systembasketball.com, the back area where you subscribe to clinics or bought products or courses, it's in there as well under 3-day boot camp. So get that out of the way there. So if you missed day 1, so we always like to talk to you guys about what we want to accomplish. And so 3 things that we hope to get across to you today, our goals for you are, we'll answer the question, can you run dribble drive versus zone? And some of the adjustments we make against the zone. And then Kurt has some video, and or I can bring up my animation software that I use to show you different ways to flow straight into your DDM, or flow from DDM into zone offense. So DDM versus zone, secret sauce. I'm after a while of doing this, you need to be able to let your players know. You need to be able to recognize whether they're in zone or man, because things will change a little bit of your dribble drive. Your spacing changes. So you got to be able to identify quickly and properly how the opponents are guarding. If we know a team's playing a zone and we know we're going to see a heavy amount of zone, we're going to be working on our packages of entries and actions and our ATOs that take advantage of that style of play. We'll emphasize it more in practice as we go that week or leading up to those games. You must be ready. Anybody a Ted Lasso fan, straight up Ted Lasso here. Dial 911. I'm going to give you a truth bomb right now for you guys that are Ted Lasso fans. If you run a good dribble drive, you will be zoned. They will not want to guard you man to man. I've been seeing a lot of zone the last few years, and people have just been playing zone. Kirk, are you seeing a lot of zone?
Yeah, in preseason, it's always different in our conference, just because we play a lot of crossover things. We go to different regions, but I think in general, when I was at the high school level, that teams don't want to guard when you're really good at getting downhill. You're really good at getting your shoulders square. It puts a lot of pressure on your defense, and so I think obviously a counter to dribble drive is zone or sagging man to man for sure.
Okay. So questions. Why you're here today for us is, can I run regular DDM versus zone? Yes, you can. I love DDM versus zone when your zone offense is stagnant. Is it necessarily my number one offense to run against it? No, but we're going to run our concept still and look to attack. You still want to have the attack mindset. You still want to get the ball in the paint. But against the zone, it leads to maybe take away your penetration a little bit. So you're going to have to do a little bit different things a little bit. Kurt, you want to talk about how it's the same and take the next bullet point?
Sure. As far as your dribble drive, for me, we're going to transition the exact same, whether it's man or zone. We're going to attack certain concepts. We're going to try to put pressure on the defender. Again, realizing that you're playing against the zone where you've got people in areas rather than people connected to your man. We're still trying to be aggressive, trying to get paint touches, trying to spray out from there. And the reality of it is, if you can get a team that's got the attack mindset, you understand spacing and gaps, you understand, the next level versus zone is who's guarding me, where are they coming from? The similarity helps your team in your zone O. I have a little bit different, continuity we're going to attack with, but as far as how we start it, there's always a lot of dribble drive stuff. There's always a lot of, can I get a freeze dribble to get somebody to guard me, and I can make, just like I would do if I was in man-to-man offense and I'm trying to dribble at a defender, to maybe get a flip or some sort of, screen in action going on there.
Okay. How is it different? Players need to understand the gap attacks. We'll have more resistance as the zone covers areas of the floor and not a player. So we're going to get into zone and DDM offense here more for you. DDM offense is hard to guard. Often opponents would rather zone you rather than deal with DDM. Talked about that already for you. We believe our zone offense, Kurt hit that. Basic alignment should be similar to DDM spacing or flow easily from DDM spacing. Conceptual attacks of the zone create a very effective zone. We like to attack an area, attack a gap, drawing to, screening, distorting the zone, all fall in this category. Basic zone concepts still are applied for us, but we like to maybe use dribble penetration a little bit more than the traditional team that would just be stagnant and point A to point B, side, top, side. We're still probably trying to get the ball maybe put on the floor a little bit, draw two or beat 2/5 of the zone, and then look for skips. And once the ball, now you got to close out, and now you're maybe attacking the baseline, and now your baseline penetration rules would come into play. So this I'll let Kurt take this one, and he did this diagram, and he really hits this home. I know he's a big short corner, high post, kill zone guy, and loves to get players into that short corner. So I'll let him talk to you guys about this.
And just to kind of build on what the previous slide said, I think it's a little bit of I know when I was a young coach, I was always told, hey, you dribble when they're man to man, and you pass to beat the zone. Kind of that thought. I remember hearing Bobby Knight talk about how much he loved the dribble against the zone, and so that always stirred my interest. And so we've applying dribble drive to be able to pinch two defenders. You can see those arrows in that diagram there that would just take a little bit of alignment switches by my 1-5, my 2-3 to try to hit those pinch spots to try to draw two. Again, we all know that when you draw two, we have somebody open. And again, for us in the zone, we're trying to get, when we draw two, to those spots, the mid post area, so the X2, X1 can't come down. The nail that forces X5 to match up when we're playing a team that's more matchup oriented. And I think one thing that maybe we do a little bit different, and again, zone concepts, Marc and I aren't trying to tell you that to reinvent the wheel of what you're doing, but if you can just remember, I really think that attacking the baseline against any zone is an effective concept too. So that's why I've got that, highlighted down there at the bottom, along with the mid and the nail. So again, you're going to get zone if you run good DDM. Marc said it early on. And so you've got to have some things ready to go. If you run your DDM against it, it's going to be a lot of penetrate, play against two, and then skip and attack. But again, I think if you utilize that baseline and that mid post in your attack, you can have some success. Again, whether you make the shots at the end, make or miss, that sometimes depends on personnel. But I do think you can try to create some good shots with these concepts.
Okay, I'm going to bring up here a window here, and we're going to bring up, let's go blank here. And we're going to talk about on the diagram before, and the defense was a little bit, they were like lane line slots. People are now getting their players a little wider in the zone. So if the zone's a 2-3 and they want to play like this, we're going to essentially almost make them match up. So X1, if he's not going to get wide and with him, we're going to look to maybe just drive this gap. And if we're able to beat two or get in this gap, we're going to play this 2-on-1 advantage, or even this advantage maybe for there. X4 has to slip in, and then you have your skip looks here to the 3. And you can mess with it, getting it wide here. I mean, you don't have to be traditionally slot. I know Nate Oates gets it really wide. His players sometimes right there, and then they'll move their 3 here to the corner. That's how wide he gets. And he plays a lot of just little ball screen stuff here and create the 2-on-1 on the weak side. But really wanted to show you how you need to sometimes maybe make them get wide in a 2-3 zone, because if you're just trying to drive straight at that lane, then you're just lined up right with that X1. Anything you want to add to that, Kurt?
No, and I think you bring up a good point about alignment. I've always been a big fan of a very simple adjustment with your team rather than putting in a new offense. Or I think sometimes that's what I got caught up in early in my career is I got to put in something new. I got to put in something new. And now what I like to do is take something I like and just tweak the alignment. Maybe we're going to come out 1-4 flat. Maybe it's going to be like Marc's got it here where we create almost a two-sided break on the left side where you're overloading there and you're just trying to get some kind of penetration with 1 or 2, or maybe a ball screen by 4 to force X2 to guard a dribble. And that's incredibly simple. Or maybe we just run penetrate pitch to the 2 and then the 4 sneaks to the short corner, if you like that attack like I do. So again, I think that's a good point to just switch your alignment from a narrow to a wide. Maybe we overload a side. Maybe we leave a side completely empty. And we're going to talk about the push entries, which essentially, clears a side so that you can overload a different side.
So this was kind of with the diagrams kind of showing you how we got a little bit wide, but we had 5 at the top here. We didn't have 5 wide. So 5 was more in like a trailer spot. But as you can see here, you're still trying to, with the penetration on the second diagram on the right, you're trying to get 2 to guard 1. And then if you get, now 5 has that gap to attack, and now X4 has to make a decision. Do I come up and guard and help, or do I stay with the corner player? So you start making them have to guard penetration and move their feet in a zone, where a lot of teams, I think, just go side, top, side, and there's no piercing of the three-point line. And really, the defense didn't have to work. They're matched up. So, this is Kurt, take this one because I know you like to put your point guard into that corner.
Yeah, and again, I think everything that you have to think about as a coach is where can I make my players most successful? If my one is more of an athlete, maybe put them down in the short corner. Maybe put them in places in the slots to attack and to create corner threes. If your one is a pure spot up kid, we love this entry right here. 500 is our code for a 1-to-5 pass. And I always have a number system with my defense, and I have a number system with my dribble drive entries. And I've tried to simplify dribble drive that way a little bit with my number system. And that's just kind of my own personality. But here it's a 1-to-5, and we're gonna run a through cut, which if you were on yesterday, it's a great way to create a double gap. Here, one thing this will do for you is, number one, confirm that they're not in some sort of matchup, confirm that they're not in man-to-man and they're trying to disguise it, especially ATO when, for us, we've got coaches on a regular basis that are going to switch their defenses out of every timeout. And so we have to kind of have what we call universal actions that will help us be successful rather than just a man-to-man play or a zone play. But here it's a 1-to-5 with a through cut. And now 5 is going to try to pinch X1 and X2. And it could be as simple as a throwback to 3. And then X4 is in a dilemma where they have to decide if they're going to get X03 in the wing there. It could be a 1 more to the corner. It's just all that really is an overload action, Wahlberg push, and you'll see that later with different entry. 1-to-5 pinch. Again, 2 could lift up and 4 could sneak short corner. But again, that's all from our dribble drive alignment. And all it was done was a little bit of lifting of the 2 and 3 to change the spacing, vacate the baseline, give people room to play down there. And then again, create 2-on-1s, constantly 2-on-1s. And then again, trying to put your players in the very best position they can be in to be successful.
I'm going to advance here because I had the slides a little out of order. Okay. And this is the best place to talk about it. So instead of the 1 coming to the corner, you may want to get your 5 to the corner. And they just did a 1-5-3 ball reversal here. And now maybe it's 5's your better player and you want to get your 5 there. So we talked about in our course that we did about having packages in where maybe it's your 2 getting in the short corner, 3 getting in your short corner. We don't have time today to go over all of that stuff. We'll talk about the course a little bit later to you guys at the end of this presentation today for people that are interested that are not a member of the Dribble Drive A to Z course yet. Give you opportunity to learn a little bit more about it today. But that have various ways to get your players to places. I was in a Facebook group today answering a question where they were talking about their read and react offense, and that's another positionless offense where they said, hey, I have certain players and I want to get people places. You got to get your best players, regardless of what offense you run, into the best spots to succeed, like Kurt said earlier. So if your point guard needs to get to the high post, then it's your point guard. I know playing zone defense myself, I love it when people don't put players in like the short corner that can play or the high post. I consider against the zone, those are the kill zone areas. And if teams get the ball to those areas, we struggle defending. So if they have players that can't play that aren't very good, then just to put them there doesn't make sense. And Dribble Drive is somewhat positionless, but you have to have some control where you put people. Do you want to elaborate any more on your 05 or what I just said there?
Yeah, and I think going back to that, when teams play you man to man, they can take their worst defender and put it on your worst player. Okay, that's just life. And if they're a non-switching team, then you pretty much have to go whatever the matchups are. Now, if they're switching, you can adjust. But now against the zone, if you think about this now, and this isn't anything that I made up, it's been common knowledge for 50 years. At the zone, if X3 is a bad defender, we can attack X3 all night long. We can decide, hey, we're running swing for that action on the screen there. That's what we call 153. That's our 153 entry, and we're gonna put a lot of pressure on X3 to try to bump down if it's traditional zone or whatever they're trying to do, and we're going to attack that side relentlessly. Especially a kid who maybe plays big minutes for him, that we're going to go. So just remember that you can dictate who you attack in zone offense. You can go after a weaker defender. You can go after a kid who is a little bit jumpy and likes to jump every screen, and so you can screen and slip. And I think in some of the video that I've got from just the other day on our YouTube channel, I put in a little slip action that we run in transition that gets us pretty good touches right at the nail. And again, it's just out of a normal transition dribble drive, 2-3 and trailer 5 action.
All right. So if you're new to Dribble Drive or you're experienced Dribble Drive, a lot of you guys will understand this. And if Vance was here, if you've listened to his video that he did on it, and he says if they zone us, we're going to shoot threes. And this is his main action that he taught. And Kurt and I, over the years, probably ran this religiously, but then people started figuring it out a little bit, and we found ways to various ways and different ways and variations to get this same action. And all you're really trying to do is create an overload on the weak side by manipulating how the zone plays. So one needs to dribble the ball up the floor and initiate X1 and drag them to the wing area. 5 is going to get to the top of the circle so that when you go 1 to 5, X1 was guarding 1, X2 is now guarding 5. Now 3 is going to get to free throw line extended in an area hopefully where they could shoot the ball. Because this player is going to be the key to how this works. If 1 did their job, 3 is going to have a decision to make based upon how X3 guards. Now, on the pass, on the dribble there, 2 is clearing to the corner. What we don't have on the diagram, and I think Kurt teaches it and I teach it, is 4 would be screening X5. So 4 does screen in this action. So 3 and 2 have a 2-on-1 advantage versus X3. If X5 wants to sprint and go guard 2 in the corner and prevent that, then we would have a post-up opportunity. Or if X3 stays flat and like bluffs and stays because the better shooter's coming to that corner, then 3 needs to look to drive it, shoot it, or pass it to 4. Now, there are some other things out of this that you can do if you don't get a shot, but a lot of times this is going to create excellent advantage for you and create a quick 3-on-2 opportunity against the zone. Anything, Kurt?
Yeah, again, that's just it makes logical sense now that you try to, in any zone offense, try to overload an area where there's a defender. And again, we're talking dribble drive here. So for us, we want to stay in that alignment. Notice how that flows. To me, that's how we would come down the floor and diagnose their zone with a push. And a lot of times what teams do to us, as they know we're dribble drive, they want us to think that they're zone. So they'll chase with X4. X4 will follow in a matchup, and then we will get right into our man-to-man dribble drive right again. And again, it's a great diagnosis play if you're not sure if they're going to be man or zone, and it's great overload action against any zone, 1-2-2, 2-3, whatever it might be. And then from there, flowing into whatever you like. If you want to attack short corner, if you want to attack mid-post, again, pretty easy to flow. And I'm a big proponent of no resets, no look over at the coach. What are we in now, coach? I don't like that. I think that's doesn't help your 30-second shot clock fans, unless you're in a state that doesn't have shot clock, doesn't help your flow.
Now, you may be in a situation where traditionally your 2 is your best shooter, but you might be in a situation where your point guard is your best attacker and your best shooter, or they're hot, and you want to get them the opportunity to get this advantage. So all we would do, instead of starting it with the dribble, is we would start it with the pass, and 1 would throw the ball to 2 and cut through to the corner. The key here again, though, is to get X1 on that pass. There's some things that you do. If they don't, they could stop and bump back to that short corner, and that's a little bit of a counter to the push play. But if they do take it, if they don't guard it with the top player, so you would see how it is again. It's just 1 going to the corner, and 3 still has the same reads. You want to get your 5 there. There's a couple ways, and you want to get them to the 3-side corner. You could start it with a kickback entry. So we could just act like we're running our offense, run our kickback. Now the 5 initiates, throws the ball to 2, and now they cut to the 3 corner. You want to get 3 involved, and say 5 you can't just reverse the balls, let's say, and you don't want to say you want to keep the ball in the point guard's hands. This is one way to do it. You loop it. So you run like a loop cut and have them come to the top of the key again. 1 cross the street in transition, swing the ball, and now the actions ran for your 3-man on the opposite side of the floor. You got anything on that one, Kurt?
No, again, it's there you have your dribble drive. You run loop cut, nail cut, push, swing. And again, you're overloading against the zone. You've diagnosed that they're not matched up. They didn't change something up on you. And now you're going to overload it. And again, if they do chase, let's say they came out, switch defenses on you. And I'm a big proponent of push as a diagnosis tool when you play against teams that are switching up their defenses. And now you could literally go 2 down to 3 in the corner, have the 2 cut through, and you're in your man-to-man offense. And it's very simple for your players. It doesn't give them, hey, what are they in, coach? That question's been answered. And you've answered it yourself. You've diagnosed the defense. You're flowing. You're moving the ball. You've got a ball reversal, again, second side. So if you look at the analytics, you've moved the ball from first side to second side. You've created an overload, and you've also diagnosed the defense all in one little simple action. that can work. Again, it's built for zone, the push actions, but it's like a 5-tool baseball player. It will diagnose the defense. It will get you into good action, and it'll get the ball moving. Again, I would encourage you coaches that have a lot of assistants, have one of them chart your passes. Chart your number of passes that you make on any possession in any one quarter, in a half court scrimmage, full court scrimmage in practice. Maybe it's a team that you beat that you thought was a particularly good game, and maybe chart. We always chart paint touches, but charting the number of passes. How's that helping you move the ball? Again, whatever offense you're running.
Okay. Incorporating a ball screen to make sure that you get X1 guarding the top here, and it's same action. So we didn't show it, but 2 would have cut through, or you could have been running, or this could be out of a 2-sided break. If you're 5 out, or if you're a 5-out type team, this could be done out of a 2-sided break, and your 5 trailer comes and you screen X2, and they just switch it because it's zone. And now you got that same 3-on-2 advantage again. If you're 4 out, 1 in, if 4 is a perimeter and they're in the two-side corner, then you'd have other options, throwbacks, and other things. Do want to share with you here. Let's see if I can find it real quick. I did share this one on social media. One of my popular ones I like to. So say you're in dribble drive spacing and you want to use your post player, and you set this ball screen. A little counter for everybody here. The player fought over the screen. So if you see that, opposite corner needs to come, and we look for throwback action, and now we get the 2-on-1 on this side. Post is ceiling. Bottom defender has a decision to make. He can't guard 2 actions in a row. They're trying to guard this by making that player from the opposite corner, opposite bottom, come out and guard it. So you guys see that one again. This is an action I really like and been messing around with. We do it as a call based upon if teams are fighting over the top in a zone. So see how they stayed home, so they would be matched. So that's a little counter to push fist there.
Yeah, and I think it really goes well with the rule that if a defender stays with you in the zone and you throw back to where you came from, if they bump you off, throw ahead. So in the picture there, you see that same action. Again, the alignment's a little different. It's a trailer screen, okay? But the same idea as your video you just had there, Mark, except for this time they bump off and you throw it ahead. So there's just lots of really cool actions off simple drag screens in transition, or like your video out of really wide 4 out. I don't know what team that was that you were showing, but it was
Wyoming.
Really wide. You could just see that they were being taught well to spread the zone out. And again, those guys could probably all shoot it too. We may not be able to spread out on a high school team all 4 kids. You may have a rule that, hey, you're a 1 more kid. You're not a, you don't tell mom and dad they're a 1 more kid, but you let them know, hey, we're going to move it and get you down to here, and there. But it's the same concept of if they stay with, throw back. If they bump you off, like in the diagram here, it's just a kick ahead or throw ahead. And there's a question there. I don't know if you want to address it right now, Mark.
Wait, I just threw it up there for both of us. I mean,
gotcha.
That's personnel driven. Honestly, I think Jeff, Coach Wilson, I can see in this situation, they can hard roll and get between X5 and X3, and it puts 5 in a tough spot there because 4 can kind of duck in the lane. You can also pop them, and that would be the kind of the scenario that I just showed on the other clip there. Say X2 fought over that, and five pops and 2 fills that corner, you'd get that overload and that's honestly just teaching your players reads. And maybe they don't get it yet, so maybe it has to be calls. But that would be mine. I mean, Kurt, are you rolling them,
think,
or are you?
Yeah, to me, exactly right. Okay, they fight over. I pick pop, and now depending on your offensive scenario, you could overload. The 2 could fill that corner like the Wyoming clip, or it's at minimum you forced X3 to come up. And
could be a baseline drive.
Anytime we can get the bottom of the zone to cover the wing, it's a win. Okay, now again, it may be you want to throw it to the short corner when that happens. Beautiful, love it. I love the short corner. It may be we get X3 or X4 to come up, and it's a 1 more to the corner, like this diagram, and you shoot a corner 3. You could bring the 4-man over and step short corner, and we're on the catch. The 5 picks, pops, throws it right to the short corner, and now you're in some sort of 45-degree cut from the weak side, if that's what you like. And it's just effective offense. If we can distort the zone and get the bottom of the zone up, we can get 2 guarding 1. We could put them in a situation where we've overloaded them. Those are all great concepts, and it should lead to uncontested or good looks at 3 and opportunities to hit it inside.
I'll let Kurt take these next ones. These are his babies. I love the wave. I love the rocket. And since we're talking about dribble drive, he's going to share with you how he uses man entries with zone offense. And I would challenge you all, like you said earlier, take what you do already and just manipulate it and understand the zone just guards it a little bit different. But you can take your man concepts of whatever you run, whatever type of offense you run, and still incorporate it against zones.
And here, this is where, in a 2-3, I think you come down, and initially I think the defense feels like they've got you covered. X1 has got O1. They're in front. X2 has matched up in their area, and they feel good about it. And then we just swing. And again, wave has become a relatively popular action on the men and women's side. I've seen some teams running that at the collegiate level, and again, it's just good, smart basketball. We're trying to overload, and if it was man-to-man, the idea is we're trying to create a triple gap for 3, squaring their shoulders, getting downhill. But here you end up with 1-5-3, where you overload, and the 3-man, we have a 2 dribble rule on this one, where when it gets to 3, they have to take minimum of 2 dribbles to drag. And what usually happens is on that pass, X2 usually bumps over or at least picks up, and we drag that X2 over. And now what we've done is essentially overloaded. And again, personnel driven for us. We're going to take our 4, we're going to go to the mid post. The 5 is going to curl it short or C cut it a little short. And the 1, again, if one's a shooter, they're going to go all the way to the corner. If one's a short corner athlete player, can attack off the bounce, we're going to put them right to the short corner there and play from there. For us right now, because our 5 is so dynamic, we're going to look to shoot the 3, swing back to where we came from. And I don't know if we have that on the next slide at all.
Let's see.
Kind of that's just getting.
Nope, that was the wrong slide. Yeah,
I've got wave on one of the video clips too.
Yeah,
but again, that's just really good basketball where it just it just puts a lot of pressure on the defense. And now you can see we've got 4 players being guarded by 3 on that area, and we're gonna try to shoot an open 3 uncontested. We might go 1 more to the corner. And if we don't get any looks out of that, we can't get it mid post. We don't get the wing 3. What I like to do then is when the ball's in the corner with the 1, and again, they've come all the way through, is we'll do what's called clocking the zone. 1 will dribble out of the corner, and then 5 will C cut down to the short corner. And then we'll get into our little mini triangle there. And I've got diagrams and stuff too. But again, just man-to-man concept, triple gap drive now that we just run against zone. And we just attach that to our zone offense.
Here's Rocket Kurt.
Yep. And again, here we've just inverted. 1 and 5 now become the corner kids. They could become short corner kids. We're just overloading 1-5-3 entry. Normally this ends with a hard downhill drive by the 2, but here we've just replaced, we've gotten 2 to the top. Maybe the zone is weak up top, and we want our 2 who maybe has maybe X3 is 6'1", 6'2" on the women's side, and we want to get 2 away from that really good defender, and we want to get 0-2 up top. So we're going to run a rocket entry, which really just flips. So now it gets 1 and 5 in different spots. And again, just simple. We didn't add anything to our playbook, but we're just going to run our zone offense from there. And now your 2-man has filled to the top. 3's on the wing, 5 short corner. 1 kind of plays that gray area on the weak side. And we've got 2 with maybe a 5'8" kid, 5'7" kid that's a little bit easier to see over. Maybe we've checked the scout, we've watched the film, and they know they give up a ton of 3s at the top of the key. Again, that's something that I think can help your team be successful.
All right. Let's see, Kurt. Here's a question for you.
Okay. Are there lots of triangle options developing from the wave? Yes, for sure. And if I think when you say triangle, you're talking about 3 players in a triangle, either short corner, mid post, wing, or are you talking about wing, corner, traditional post up? When I hear triangle, I obviously have the vision of triangle, but I also have my old school high-low triangle in the back of my head when I think that, because I know there's a lot of guys out of the Texas area that when you say triangle, that you're talking about high-low power triangle, with a high post and a wing and a corner. So that would be
Tex.
Certainly there are, yes.
Or some Tex Winter stuff.
Yep, you could get the Tex Winter triangle very good, and you could run a corner ball screen like 1X, 4X, and put a little pressure on the zone that way. So
hopefully that answers your question, Coach Goldberg. Simple actions, simple. If you took here's another way to get like in the push thing. We've been using this against matchups, and it really puts that X3 in a spot there. You initiate X1 and you run a little blur loop cut to the wing, and now X3 has 2 players to guard. And we faced a situation the other day where she knew our shooter was in the corner. We put our dynamic our dynamic girl here. X2 stayed home, and she just got the ball right from there and drove straight from the wing to the rim. X5 didn't want to help because they didn't want to leave our post player standing underneath the basket for a wide open layup. So that situation right there puts the defense in a lot of 2-on-1 decision-making defensive situations that they don't want to be in. And that's just a quick action. That is quick, and that gets you into a traditional what we talk more about in the course on the Dribble Drive Zone chapter, that both of us tend to get into some sort of 1-3-1 short corner mid post attack. So all these would lead into something for us if we're not able to get into those actions. But those little quick actions kind of keep us still in a dribble drive sense, and then keeps us in an attack mindset.
And that's action that you've got in. If you're a dribble drive guy, you've got loop cut, you've got nail cut. Now you maybe you call that Z1 or something against the zone, or Z5, and they just remember that, hey, I'm not going to pop back and replace the one. I'm just going to blur out to the wing. Or maybe you have ball screen transition stuff where they just ghost it and let the one get over, X1 get over, and now it's just a quick little overload. One more. Lots of cool things you can do on this. If 2, wants to rip and go, if they're not open, now you're attacking that baseline.
Curry, want to walk them through this? This is Kurt's baby right here. Yeah. We hit a big shot last year after meeting him on this one, and
if you go to my YouTube, you'll see one of the edits on there is under special situations, and you'll see this is, and I chuckle. It may not be America's best zone, Bob, but I would challenge to find one better that's more consistent and puts more pressure on the D. And there's a couple of ways you have to guard it, but this one starts out in the box set, And what we will teach the 5, and again, interchangeable. If you want the 4 there, we like to put a kid who's a pretty good actor or actress on that backside spot. And you put your best shooter in front of the ball, and we try to run hard to the backside. We dive the opposite elbow to occupy the middle of the zone. It's important that they're pretty vocal on that dive. I think part of being a good basketball coach is teaching your players to be deceptive on the floor, whether that's simple vocals, whether that's faking, whether that's, bluffing at a ball as it's coming across half court just to help a teammate. This is an action where 0-4 is diving hard. 3 has to occupy the flatten the zone by going to the corner. And what happens is X4 sees that. And again, part of, I think, the way this is so successful is the visual part of it is X4 sees 0-2 coming their way. And I think they think that they're going to get it. I'm going to steal this ball. I'm going to get it. I'm going to take it away from these guys. And what happens is they jump out. I've got it highlighted in that second one is they jump out, and 0-5 slips to the rim for a lay-in. And again, if they guard it well, when teams guard this well, that what they'll do is they'll take 0-1 or X1, excuse me, and drop them to the corner. That's the way you have to guard this. And if they do that, then they open themselves up for eyes plays, for Z plays, which for us are quick little lobs. And you'll see that on my edit on there. And then if they defend all that really well, we're going to throw it to 3 in the corner. We're going to take 2 dribbles up. We're going to fill the corner with 0-1 and try to get a 3-point shot in the corner. So I think zones, again, I go back to the idea that zones can be tricky, but they also can be things you can manipulate. Hey, look at that. We got a winner chicken dinner there. I like it. Hit the lob at the rim. Love it. So yeah, I love sharing things like that. It's always fun to see that somebody got to use it. But I stole it from an old high school boys coach I was working with back in 95, so we all got something from somewhere. You tweak it, make it work for you, but it's been good to us.
All right, man.
Okay, well, I've got a few clips here ready for you, but before we go too far,
look at Kurt's points per possession, his team in the program against the zone, 1.097.
Yeah, again, part of it is that a couple teams that we played weren't overly dynamic in their zone defense and had some short numbers. But again, I think when you look at stuff like this, and we look at it all the time, we're trying to figure out ways to improve. I look at the ratings there, and again, it was 6 games. I think we're up to 10 games now. So and a couple of them were good games. We lost to a team from the East region in a good game that kind of one of those ones that I think really showed a couple of our weaknesses that we got to get better at. But we're looking at those numbers. We'd love to be 0.9 and above on everything. If we can get to that magic 1.0, that's really good. You can see that for me and my role in the program, I'm pretty much in charge of the special situations, the out of bounds, the side, the ATOs. We discuss and decide what we want to do. And it's a team effort to put together our offense and our defense. I'm looking at, the out of bounds ends, 1.35. And again, it's a little skewed. It's only 6 games. That will go down. I wish if it could stay at 1.35, that would be awesome. but that's going to happen. And then but going specifically against the zone, we look and go, hey, we're better against zone than we are man. So that is something that we want to be consistent with and stay with as the season goes on. So let me bring up some film here on this, and I'll just play. And Mark, am I okay to just share from there? Just let me know that it's showing up.
I'll let you know.
Okay. Because I might need to share a different window or.
Oh yeah, you might. Yeah,
okay.
I don't see. Okay. I don't.
That's fine.
Yeah, the next one.
Yep, we're okay. I'll just escape from there real quick. Okay.
I'm gonna hit remove.
Yeah, let's see here. We'll stop that and let me try again here. Sorry about that, guys.
No worries.
Just trying to get everything up here. There we go.
It is.
We good?
It's it just says click to exit full screen at the moment.
Okay. All right. And I think
Let's see.
The StreamYard there. Can you see it there? I just need to.
I can see it. Yeah, I can see it where it says custom edits. It's the small screen.
Okay. Okay. So let me go ahead and let's see here.
Maybe if you pop it and then you stop it and reshare it again, it will have the big screen. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Let's see if that will work.
Apologize, guys. We can always go to Marc can always bring up the YouTube if he has to, if we can't get this to work there.
Yeah, it's still showing that.
Trying to go full screen, it doesn't seem to want to do that for some reason. Marc, can you just go to my YouTube site then real quick?
Yeah, let me just see if I can find it.
And I'll let you go from there.
The Clackamas.
Yep.
CC basketball.
Yep.
So find it, hopefully. Oh, shoot. All I'm seeing is stream stuff. What's the actual... Oh, man.
Okay. All right. I can do something real fast here.
Find it.
Okay. Let's try this here. Okay.
Just trying to find your page.
Okay. So let me try this, Marc.
All right. I don't see anything yet.
Okay. Let me try one more thing here.
I'll go find it from the Facebook page, the link.
Is that up?
There it is.
Okay. Is it playing? Are we good?
Yep, you're good.
Okay. So again, here we just flow on a tip. And again, this is a 1-5-3, 5-1-2, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to go right away and attack our spots. And again, we're getting pressure from the wing. So for us, we've taught them anytime we're feeling pressure from the bottom of the zone, we're going to attack and move to the short corner. And there again, right back, little dribble drive concepts. And again, that wasn't a great team we're playing, but I think it shows some of the concepts that we're trying to go. Here's a missed shot, and we're going to flow into our offense. Again, you can see our 3-man wide. Our 2-man probably needs to giddy up a little bit. We've got our trailer in, and we're just going to go 1-2 and flow right into our short corner. The wing is playing. We rip baseline. We hit the drift. Same concept as our man-to-man offense when we attack the baseline. And we want to try to make that. And I think that's a really hard action to guard when you attack that baseline and throw the drift. I don't know how high school teams, especially, they might make the one rotation, but if you're in the place for the one more, and here's some transition. We go 1-2. We hit our mid post. We move it. We hit our mid post. I love how, and again, if you could see that real quick, guys. And again, Ramey's our high post kid, and some nights there's matchups that don't fit perfectly, but we've really taught them to take a peek short corner. Every time our mid post catches, if you can watch this, we're looking short corner. Now, it may not be that we throw it there, but we're taking a peek, and there's the concept of inside out, where we're trying to play inside out. We got it to the mid post, not necessarily to score from the mid post, but to collapse the defense just enough to create shots. And that's just with simple actions. Here we've got a 1-5-3. We now get our best player. Our high post kid's probably a little too high. I prefer the mid a little bit more. And then we just rip and go baseline. And again, not a great team. I mean, there's not a ton of resistance here, but it's good ones to show where we're trying to flow. Now here's the set defense. So we know that the defense is set. And so we're going to probably run a quick little simple action. I'm not a huge fan of plays that have 5 options. I'm probably not smart enough for that. I learned that a long time ago, that my strength is probably in 1 or 2 little things that distort you, or 1 or 2 little things that now give our best player an opportunity to make a play. And I think that's what we need to do as coaches is try to get our best player in the best opportunity. So here we're going to run a little wave action off a nail cut. And then we're going to try to engage. So we've engaged 1, we've engaged 2. Now their X3 is in a little bit of trouble already, probably too low. Most teams will be a little higher. So now we're in a long closeout situation. X2 bumps over. And so now we're going to have our 2 dribble rule. 24 has to take 2 dribbles. And now we're going to throw back. And we're probably open there for a shot. Probably didn't have her feet ready. We've got nothing in the corner there. And again, that person could have gone short corner if we wanted to. But what we do have here is a situation where by putting your eyes to the rim, giving yourself the appearance of a threat, it now causes X1 or X2, whatever that might be, to react to it. And then we're one more. And now this is where we're just catch, shoot, let it go. And we've gotten our player X2 or in this case, 03 at the top. And again, I talked about that to rearrange your players in different spots to put them there. Now here we're going to come down and we're going to run a little slip action that I think is really good. It's just simple, basic. We're going to go 1 to 5. We're going to kind of hit that screen like it's a flare. We didn't even really need to do it there. It's almost ghost-like. And now what we found on this action is we get a touch around the nail. And again, they're spread out pretty wide here. We get a touch at the nail. What we found is X5 generally comes up to meet that. X3 was worried about the flare, so they're out of position. And we hit a little bounce pass lane line, and that's been in our quick hitter package for a little while now. So again, those are just, for me, flow. I use that word flow. I don't know if I'm using it correctly or not. Justin Duke uses it all the time, and he's really good at that. But for me, that's just flow. We're down in our dribble drive spacing transition. We recognize zone, and we get into quick little things that try to attack it, try to pinch it, try to overload it, and then play.
All right. Okay, so boom, 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 boom. Okay. Is that up there?
Yep.
So we've gone for about 2 days with you, went over the basics, went over the zones. We just did a tip of the iceberg. Kurt and I have done a dribble drive motion A to Z course, and it's been out for, I think we did it, when did we start it, Kurt? October 2020?
It feels like that. Yeah.
October, and we went 6 weeks. We did 6 weeks, and we covered the gamut of dribble drive. Today, the last 2 days we've been with you, it's been a little bit of chunks from the course. We're going to be honest with you. This, like what we showed today, was some of the zone course, and yesterday was some of the implementation. So if you're not in the dribble drive A to Z course and you want to learn more about it and what it has to offer, would it be okay if me and Kurt spend about 10-15 minutes to explain what all is in it and kind of show you it? If you can just type a yes in there, if that'd be okay. I know I can't really see Facebook users. I guess I can. YouTube users. So, right. Okay. So let's move on. Let's go. All right. So, what is the Dribble Drive Motion A to Z course here? It is a comprehensive course online that we created together live for people. It was done over Zoom, has a lot of diagrams, some video, more diagrams and video, because we were doing this during COVID time. But what we did was we broke it down into 12 chapters, and it covers from how to implement, practice planning, the drills to use. And in my opinion, the goal of it is, like right now, if you're in season and someone's pressuring you or pack lining you or switching you or zoning you, you can go back and reference all the things that we went over and have these things in to go over to help you. Tomorrow, we're going to get into some of the variations that we went over in the course. So if you don't have the perfect personnel, you have 2 posts, you have 5 guards, you have players that you might play because they're defensive minded and don't have all the skills. We go over that. In the advanced chapter, we go over some more advanced techniques. Chapter 10, how to use a talented big. Chapter 11 is huge. Box and one, triangle and two, OB plays, side plays. Forget what are the other things we went over now? And face guarding a shooter.
I think even some time score stuff,
Yeah.
to get your dribble drive actions.
And then we went over kind of what we do in the off seasons and everything, the drills we use, the ideas we have to develop your players to run this system. Back in October or September-ish, we did a 3-day challenge, and we've also added those that we did over a course of 3 days. You have the recordings and the diagrams from that. So it's 22 hours of instruction. And if I take you to the System Basketball website here and showed you the website, and I went to the DDM A to Z course. In this area, you can find all the different chapters we have and the actual full course. The full course is right here, what we're talking about today. And there's a little thing about why the course, some stuff about me and Kurt, some sample videos, and then here's all the contents. So chapter 1 was 1 hour and 37 minutes. So it tells you everything that you get here. You get the 3-day challenge bonus, some of the notes from the course, practice plans, practice structure outlines, a day 1 practice from Kurt, some of the notes, some drills, player development notes. That's if you just came to the website and you were going to get that is $99 by itself. And what we have for you for being a part of the 3-day boot camp is we put together some bonuses. So you get all of this. You're going to get the course book diagrams. So all the PowerPoint slides, the diagrams that we went over to cover in the course came out to 540 pages. When I started my journey of Dribble Drive, I had a Dribble Drive Hoop Talk blog spot where I used to write some blog posts and stuff for Scott Peterman, and I created a high school ebook way back in the day. I'm going to throw that in there. That has 140 diagrams, PDF diagrams, drills and stuff, kind of just geared for the Dribble Drive for high school. And I think you can use that for your junior high teams. I basically would give this book to my freshman and JV coaches. What's popular after we did the course, more people wanted to know about the 5-out that I do. So I did a separate clinic on it that I'm going to throw in there. The other thing I did was some of my favorite quick hitters and film study of some of my favorite coaches running some quick hitters, Mike Neighbors, Mike McGuff from Ohio State, some Nate Oates quick hitters are in there as well. You're also going to get the 3-day boot camp replays and diagrams. So all the videos from so this section that we're doing today and the diagrams. Last but not least, we have a private Facebook group that is just for the A to Z members. So you're looking at 19 plus hours of X's and O's on the Dribble Drive Motion offense, playbooks, diagrams, the exclusive Facebook group that is different than the Dribble Drive Motion Hoop Talk. I put more video content in there for drills and newer ideas I put in there. This special pricing is going to go through the weekend. I know Christmas is coming up, and I know it's something that it's educational for you and your program, your travel ball team, your existing program. But I think it's an investment that is quality if you're looking to run this whole offensive system. Um, I not to I don't think you're going to find for that value something that covers it from what we put into this. And just to show you the value, the course itself easily would be $199 if you bought each of those chapters separately. A lot of them are going for $20 for an individual chapter on the course. The book itself is easily $69 for the amount of pages and diagrams and time that we put in to designing that. My book on the site is $15. The 5-out course on the site is $20. The quick hitter clinic by itself, it was $15. And 3-day boot camp, I'm putting it as a $37. We're giving you 3 hours of time and talk here. Kurt, I mean, I know you have one. What's a video cost at $39 for an hour and 20-minute video on another service?
Yeah, I know that some of the stuff I've produced is still, 2 packs are $69.99 on sale, $49.99 if you buy the download that goes with it. And I think the beauty of this, and I'll keep it brief, is just that it is truly A to Z. It's not one little part of Dribble Drive. It's not just, okay, here's the implementation, or here are some drills, or, here's your quick hitters that you might have to do when you buy a single video. This is truly A to Z, from the spacing, the origins, advances, ideas, where he really, dreamed it up, took everything that he'd seen over the years and put it all together, to variations of it, to what do you do when, questions that I think Marc and I get quite a bit. I know Marc gets a ton of those. What do I do when? Those are answered to the best of our ability. I mean, we're not claiming to be the smartest guys in the world, but we do feel like it is a product that covers A to Z for Dribble Drive Motion offense.
And for people that have gotten to know us, that are I call it the family, honestly. I mean, that's how I introduce the people. DDM A to Z family is kind of, we do extra, we'll do stuff with them, and we'll have you come in. We'll do, I've done film studies. Kurt's done film studies. We've done Q&A nights, and it's not, you have resources to us. We'll answer questions. You have us. You've probably seen what we do in the Hoop Talk group there. We're more than willing to talk to you, help you in any way. And we're coaches ourselves. And I know what's out there in the market and stuff. $99 for what you're getting is well worth it. And we try to make it at a price so that people can afford it and put it into implementation. We love getting messages from people saying, hey, like the guy saying, hey, I used your OB play, and or you got something. Because when I do one of these, I love teaching, and me and Kurt love doing these. We never thought when we did this first thing, when we did it way back then, we're like, can we get 50 people or so to come? And it blew us away that I think the very first one we did, chapter 1, we had like 89 people attend on the Zoom live, and I'm proud of it. He's proud of it, and that's our offer for you guys. And hopefully, you'll take us up on it, and easily we could raise it and probably still sell some. But we want to make it affordable for coaches. So that's the thing. And we're just two high school. I'm a high school coach. He's a college coach that coached high school, and we love to help people, and thought that we would share our knowledge on the Dribble Drive with you guys. So anything else for them, Kurt?
No, I just think the fact that it's a comprehensive package, if you're considering it, it's not just one aspect of DDM. It is truly a to Z.
All right. Well, tomorrow you'll be in a treat. Big topic. We're going to go over DDM adjustments, sneak peek for you. We're going to go over some 3 out, 2 in concepts and how you can still run it. And the biggie that everybody likes to talk about. We're going to talk about a little bit of how to incorporate it with the 5 out. So hopefully we'll see you guys all tomorrow. Stay safe, stay healthy, enjoy the holidays. So we'll see you guys tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific time. Come on, Kirk.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Good luck, coaches.
There it is. Love it. Thank you, guys.